So we're finally ready to start getting down. We're gonna do some work on this FD3S chassis. One of the first things you have to do when you're doing any type of race car build, chassis prep, is you gotta get the sound deadening out of the floor. And when it comes to the early 90s cars, you've got this sound deadening that's basically glued into the floor. You can torch it, you can dry ice it, you can scrape at it. It's ugly. If it's a street car, probably good to have. But when I build a Formula Drift car, this has got to go. It doesn't look good, and it's definitely heavy by standards of what we do to save weight in cars. So I'm not super into working hard, and generally scraping and torching is a lot of hard work. So I like to go with the dry ice method. So we're going to do some dry icing today. We're going to get down on the dry ice. Oh, this should probably be a warning. Dry ice, you can hurt yourself, so don't do this at home. Be professional. Safety equipment, gloves, safety glasses. Generally, don't get hurt. Don't do it. Just, you know, be safe. All right, I got some dry ice. While it's bagged up, you're not doing much damage or getting much work done. So I'll have to get it out of the plastic wraps. It's a little easier to handle this way. And a little less likely to do any damage to your skin. So like I covered with the safety side, it's so cold. You have to wear some gloves, safety equipment. You can still get hurt, so be really careful, because the last thing you want is a dry ice burn to your skin. Feels like a burn, but it's actually froze your skin, so don't touch dry ice raw. Hopefully I've covered that enough. All right, so we'll get a couple of these out, and then we're going to spread them out on the floor, not to make cool steam, but to actually freeze the sound deadening, and hopefully that's going to make it a lot easier to lift this stuff up. Alright, so far we're looking successful, and we're only a couple minutes in. I just grabbed the scraper and was able to pop some of the frozen sound deadening up. Because it's so cold, it's just breaking apart. We'll scrape, and pop. We'll keep freezing everything down. And we had to have a little fun. Makes it cool, you know? Alright, we'll continue. But so far, the result is nice because you don't have a bunch of smoke or burning rubber, and you get a very clean surface to work with once you pop it off. It's a nice finish.
Oh, yeah.
You think so, Merv?
Yeah, yeah.
We got technical inspector right here.
All right.
Merv making sure. Now, he hadn't done this before, and I've dry iced a few floorboards, so we're just checking it out together. So that's definitely, I think, my preferred way to remove this stuff. Might not get it all off, but it's an easy way to get most of it off. Oh, and just like that, we've got success. Big chunks coming up. Look at this. Nice big chunks of sound deadening. It's all frozen. Only a few minutes, and we've already got a pile. So getting the weight out, making the chassis look way cleaner. That way when we weld and we prep, we'll be good to go. Hey, if you're gonna build a race car, this is part of the fun. Stripping the car, grinding, scraping, dry icing. And then afterwards, I'll take some dry ice home and make some fog for the family, because that's always fun. I guess the downside with dry ice or difficulty is getting it up against the tunnel and some of the more curved areas, but I still really just like that it leaves a really nice like OEM finish. So our eventual interior finish will look good. Bang, bang, bang. I think that's actually something funny to note is, you know, I like to hit the sound deadening once it's frozen with a hammer. It kind of loosens it up in big sheets, but don't hit the car too hard, because if you're working an area that you want to be visually attractive, you can actually dent the sheet metal through the sound deadening. Ask me how I know. I've done it on a different car back in the day. But a little bit of medium tapping, chiseling does the trick. All right, continuing with the dry ice and the bang bang. We're looking good. Progress made. Banging away still. Tunnel is looking good, front to back, and we're now just freezing down the driver's side. So when it works right, you can just get a big sheet of it off. Yep, grab it, whisking it with the bare hands. Whew. Nice. Yep, just like that. It's nice and cold. Fairly clean surface. Driver's side, almost done. We got a little bit in the back end still. So I would call that pretty successful. We're running out of dry ice, and we've got about 3.5 hours into it with 20 pounds, which was $30 in dry ice. Most of the pieces came up pretty big. This is still pretty cold, so it's still hard, but it's starting to soften up, get more flexible. But with it real cold, it really popped off nicely and left a pretty good finish. So we still do have to get a little bit off the firewall, and these rear parcel trays, package trays, still have some sound deadening. So we didn't quite get it all done. I'll probably go back and buy another 10 pounds and spend a couple more hours chiseling away, but definitely my preference to dry ice it versus just grinding or just torching. Like I said, be safe. You know, dry ice is it's cold, but really happy with the results and how much we got done. And I would call it casual hard work. You know, we got a hammer, we got a chisel, dry ice in, but it's a lot less toxic than the smoke and fumes from burning it. And you know, other than being a little sore from crashing the MX-5, I was able to get in there and hammer around pretty good. So I'm going to call that a wrap, and make sure to stay tuned. We're going to keep working on this thing. We've got a bunch of cool parts on the way, and I can't wait to just show more about it.